So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
I wonder what Hilganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renins inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, Let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Whew! I think Hootle senses something.
Right, here goes! This could be useful.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Hoo.
My word, this must be the work of prop... evidence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
What's on the other side of this door, anyway?
Why ask me when you can just open it and find out?
This is...
But this is...
Right.
Kisara. Oh!
Wow!
Nice one, Alphen.
Thanks. Gotta keep up with the competition.
Personally, I prefer Bologna.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Guess I misread the landing.
Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
That Zoogel's in our way.
Hi, Hoodle!
Azure Storm!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Azure
They're
Storm!
hiding as thick as armor!
In an instant! Impact Claw!
Well, looky here! Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Ho! Ho! Ho!
My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd had known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cislodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hoodle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hoodle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hoodle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hoodle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hoodle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hoodle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Ah, get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing.
this one of your friends, Hoodle?
The design of this equipment is real. Ooh, interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
I see you've got your relics all lined up again. What are you doing? Huh? They're so bright now.
Oh, it's you two. I was merely tending to my collection.
Don't you think you've polished them enough by now?
You take better care of your relics than you do yourself.
I try to take good care of them. However, no matter how much work I put in, it refused to respond.
I thought you could hear their voices somehow.
I can, but that's all I can do with them. I can't actually engage in conversation with them. Not yet.
What are they saying? Did they really want you to polish them that much?
You're right. I was so enraptured with them, I may have selfishly failed to consider their own wishes. I must open my mind and sincerely engage with them in earnest.
He never gets tired of his relics, does he?
Nope. It is interesting to look at them when they're all lined up together like this, though. Like how these two have similar designs. It makes me wonder if they were made in the same period.
An excellent observation. Yes, I too suspect they're somehow intimately related as well.
I don't see what you two are talking about at all.
What's this? Why, that smear wasn't there previously. Could it be responding to my voice at long last? It's rather viscous and has a distinct aroma to it.
Ugh, Hoodle! These relics are no place for you to do your business! Whew! I'm serious! These are priceless pieces of history!
Come on, Dohalim. Let's go wash your hands before you catch anything weird.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Sure is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menancia. Especially after the extremes of some of the other regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself to feel pride, huh? That sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably what gives him his eye for detail. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, so we'd noticed.
Let's change the subject, shall we? It's a wonder so many things coincided to bring us here. Alphen's awakening, Shion's decision to revolt, the Danon uprising in Calaglia, the Crown Contest's final, sputtering throws.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time, the fact that you happened to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our responsibility to see it through.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take me for exactly?
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you dolt?
I mean, she did say he was a likable dolt, didn't she?
Let's refrain from poking this particular Zoogle any further. Some lessons just can't be taught.
Not to dolts, anyway.
Hey, Kisara, what's your secret for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia, though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
The Lord of Cislodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the Lord we met in Vicente was really...
An imposter? Dohalim? Hardly. Like it or not, that's him all right. In all his flamboyant, circumloquacious glory.
I'd like to see someone try to impersonate that on a daily basis.
Come to think of it, what with being a lord and all, he's probably never had anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
I think Hoodle senses something. Maybe something's going on in the forest. Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but... You sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
That treasure. What a sweet... sounding ring it has.
You really think so?